on the bare peak where self is alone with naught, and life has no sense and love no place to stand. She must plead her case upon extinction's verge. She must be there or she must disappear. She must plead her case and vindicate her right to be and love. A great dolorous moment now is here of Doom and Savitri facing each other. Here at the destined place. Where are they now? This is the meeting place, the designed place. The destined place is there where Satyavan and Savitri had met first. It is at that very place that Savitri must meet Doom. The great and dolorous moment now is here. Here at the destined place. The great and dolorous moment now was close. A mail battalion marching to his doom. The years, the ages are passing and coming like a battalion. Alone amid the many faces loved, aware among unknowing happy harm. Her armored spirit kept watch upon the hour. Savitri is already guarded. She has put on the armor and she is ready to fight now. A combatant in silent dreadfulness. A combatant in silent dreadfulness. Savitri is a combatant in list, in the wrestling ground, in the arena. The world unknowing, for the world she stood. No helper had she save the strength within. There was no witness of terrestrial eye. The gods above and nature's soul below were the spectators of that mighty strife. So you can imagine that whole scene, that forest scene, there is nobody around here, only nature and gods above. They are the witness of that moment, you see. The gods above and nature's soul below, but they were just the spectators of that mighty strife. Yes, they are there. They cannot participate, they cannot contribute really much. The battle is entirely between Doom and Savitri. Nobody can really contribute his share, so to say, to that thing, you see. Nobody is going to help her. It was a battle of love versus death, doom. Love, death only. A battle to be fought on the earthly soil. But for even the gods above and nature's soul below could participate in it. In the least, the human, the mortal. In what way can human being participate on that? The setting is glorious, a destined spot. See, this is spot, a designed spot, a selected spot, seeing the issue of love and death arose. When was that prepared? When the issue of love and death arose, that spot was created, was kind of protected also. There is the statue of Shiva on the mountain, and that mountain statue of Shiva is guarding the whole place for this to happen here. The supernatural elements necessary are present in it. There was her drama, radiant prologue lived, a spot for the eternal state on earth set in the crystal yearning with the wood. So this is a designed spot where the battle has to take place, you see. Gods above and nature's soul below. Around her, the austere sky pointing. Now we have got the beautiful description of the spot, you see. Around her, the austere sky pointing him, and a green, murmurous, broad, deep-thoughted pool muttered incessantly their muffled spell. There has she grown to the stature of a spirit. There has she grown to the stature of a spirit, a genius of titanic silences, keeping a soul in its wide loneliness, has shown to her herself's bare reality and mated her with her environment. She has now become strong enough to meet the environment, to meet the challenge, to meet the situation. There she had grown to the stature of a spirit. This is a very powerful line. She had grown to the stature of a spirit. What real Savitri is, it is to that stature Savitri has grown. Where? In this spot, in the destined place, where the battle is going to be fought. It is there Savitri has grown here. Now, if you see in the kind of a immediate direction, immediate context. There she had grown to the stature of a spirit. Savitri has lived hardly here for 1 year. Satyavan and Savitri have met one summer morning. They get married, and 1 year after the marriage, Satyavan is going to retire. So Savitri is living Satyavan in this place just for 1 year. Now, is it during that 1 year that she had grown to a spirit? There, had she grown to the stature of a spirit, had she grown to her greatness during that just 1 year? The answer is yes. The answer is also no. The answer is no, because she has been here in this place since the beginning of the earth. The destined meeting place, the designed place is always there, and she has been growing constantly in a yogic tapasya, in a yogic consciousness, in yogic strength. She has been growing constantly in that. So it is not just that 1 year, but at the same time it is a 1 year, because when Narad makes known the death of Satyavan, it is after that moment Savitri does the yoga of the conquest of death. Savitri does within those few months, and she grows to the stature of a spirit. The power of Narad's Diksha, of initiation, is that she immediately sets herself on doing the yoga and grows to the stature of a spirit. So it is both historically as well as evolutionarily that she has grown there to the stature of a spirit, you see. This is a double meaning, this line, you see. Savitri had grown there to the stature of a spirit. Not that she lived here with Satyavan just for 1 year after the marriage. Though it is here she did the yoga of victory over death. She has been doing this yoga since she awoke to the mission of her birth. She has been doing that, you see. There was a drama's radiant prologue lived. That is this scene where all this is going to happen here. The destined meeting place. It's a very beautiful place where how Satyavan and Savitri made, and that place becomes also the place where the drama is being enacted, you see. Here is a spot for the eternal trade. See, that is the beauty of this place, this meeting place. This is the spot, here the spot for the eternal trade on earth. He is going to step down here in this spot here, you see. Here will arrive Krishna Kali in the wake of Savitri is coming back to earth. It is in this spot, at this place, when Savitri brings back the soul of Satyavan, Krishna and Kali will follow. It is at this place, you see. There was a drama, radiant prologue. Here the spot for the eternal trade on earth. Here will arrive Krishna Kali in the wake of Savitri is coming back to earth, back with the soul of Satyavan. A spot for the eternal trade on earth. You see, that is the spot for the eternal trade. Krishna Kali is coming here and stepping on this one, set in the colossal yearning. Here, with the suddenness, divine advents have, repeating the marvel of the first descent, repeating the marvel of the first descent, the way the avatar plunged for the first time in this creation, and the miracle started. It is that marvel which is repeated here again and again. Here, with the suddenness, the divine advents am, changing to rapture the dull earthly round. Love came to her, hiding this shadow. That it is at this spot Satyavan is walking through. They are meeting over here, but he does not know that he is also accompanied by unseen death. The shadow of death is there behind her. Savitri and Satyavan meet, but none of them know. Neither Savitri knows nor Satyavan knows that death is also following them simultaneously at that spot. You see. It is only when Narad reveals that, then the entire thing becomes clear to Savitri. not yet to Satyavan, you see. Here is repeated the marvel of the first descent of the God of love, plunging into the void. The God of love has plunged into the void. That is the first descent. That is the marvel. It is that marvel which is repeated here at this point. Well might he find in her his perfect shrine. He, God of love. God of love is going to find perfect shrine only in Savitri. What kind of shrine? We have got this most beautiful description of Savitri. This perfect shrine, most beautiful description of Savitri. See, in the harshness of the event, the calamity, the harshness, the god of pain, the ache, the voiceless call of the body, all that thing. Against that, you have such sweet poetry, such sublime poetry, such elevating poetry also at the same time, you see. I mean, the contrast is so marvelous. It is as if such sublime poetry, the pure over mental poetry, can come as if only when there is that calamity, there is that harshness, you see. Since first the earth beings heavenward, growth began. Since first earth beings heavenward, growth began. When earth beings heavenward, growth began. When man lifted up the burden of his fate. It is at the time of Rama Avatar. That is the beginning, Rama Avatar, you see. Since first the earth beings heaven. That is the beginning of Rama Avatar, you see. Man lifted the burden of his fate, is climbing up. And Savitri awakes at that moment of time, no? It is that thing. Beings heavenward, growth began. In fact, that is exactly what we have got when the Vedic Rishis says, see, the Vedic Rishis belong more or less to the period of Rama. And they themselves are speaking our ancient forefathers. Our ancient forefathers who did the tapasya, who did the sacrifice, who did the yajna. They are speaking of that thing. So it is since earth heavenward began. It is from that point onward, this urge for immortality is there in man. All the long ordeal of the race, never a rarer creature bore his shaft. That is the greatness of Savitri. She alone can bear the shaft of love. All in her pointed to a nobler kind. Obviously, not the littleness of John. It is here the God of love found his perfect shrine to reside. Savitri, the perfect shrine for the God of love. Such is the beauty of this earth. Such is the glory of this earth. Such is the joy of this earth. There is the harshest doom waiting there to remove that beauty, that glory, that joy from the face of the earth. But here is she now, yet here is she stronger than the doom himself. She is wielding a conqueror's sword. She is wielding the conqueror's sword in her hand. And here she stands in all her mind. Savitri is standing there in all her mind. And what kind of shrine is this for the God of love to live? She is a golden temple door to things beyond. In her sway, immortal rhythm, a mind, a sea of wide sincerity. That is her mind, a sea of wide sincerity. Her heart, silence in the hands of joy. Her body, a parable of dawn. That is the perfect shrine. A wild self-giving was her native and as a tired bird chased by a hunter might find quiet in her, so would that love under the grip of death. The way a tired bird is going to find a quiet in its homing tree, in its nest, in the same manner, this God of love, who is under the grip of death, is going to find refuge, going to find quiet in Savitri alone, near to earth's wideness, intimate with heaven, exalted and swift, her young large vision spirit, voyaging through worlds of splendor and of calm, overflow the ways of thought and bounding, and goes on like that, you see. What poetry you see. A wise self-giving was a native and a magnanimity as of sea, of sky, enumerate with his greatness all that came and gave a sense as of a great one. Her kindly care was a sweet temperate sun, her high passion a blue heaven equipoise, a day of compassion, a hushed sanctuary, her inward hell, and barred a gate in heaven. Yes, you can pass through heaven's gate because of her. Love in her was wider than the universe. The whole world could take refuge in her single heart. So, what a big heart it must be. And it is that big heart who is going to be the shrine for the God of love. So the God of love rather looks small in that huge big shrine of Savitri. The great unsatisfied Godhead, because God of love has not yet found the shrine, but now here is she now, could dwell vacant in the vastness imprisoned air, her moved harbor his sublime breath. Spiritual that can make all things divine. Spiritual that can make all things divine. See, everything spiritual does not necessarily mean divine. Everything spiritual does not necessarily mean divine. You can have the cosmic experience. Yeah, you can have the experience of oneness. You can have the experience of Advaita. You can have the experience of Ananda. But that still does not make it divine. It is a cosmic experience. For even her girl was secrecies of light. At once, she was the stillness and the word, both passive and active Brahman aspects are present in her. A continent, the self-diffusing peace, an ocean of untraveling virgin fire. The strength, the silence, the gods were her. In her, God of love, he found a vastness like his own, his high, warm, subtle ether, he refound and moved in her as his natural home. In her, he met his own eternity. So that is the first part of the canto, section 3.